Thank you for joining me. I am your TV hostess, Dominique Rivera, and you are watching Divine Encounters, aka the Oracle of Apollo. And today is Supernatural Story Time. We're going to give you an amazing story brought by Jannette today, so I hope you stay tuned. This episode is going to pull at your heartstrings and maybe even fill you with inspirations. But most importantly, maybe it might just make the impossible seem possible. So stay tuned because we're about to get in.
Hi everyone, Jannette Ramos here, CEO and President of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization that houses women who have been affected by drug and alcohol use while having their children live in transitional housing. Services to include drug treatment, mentoring, counseling for the kids, parenting. We set them up with employment. We help them get everything that they need to get them out into the community. Go to our website, ittakesavillage1.org, and donate. Donate whatever your heart desires, and let's change families one at a time.
You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Thank you for joining me, everyone. I am your host. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing, following, doing all the things here. We got some big things we got to accomplish in this collective universe, and I definitely need your help. So if this is your first time watching, make sure you have your hot quality H2O, because you guys know I am always in partnership with Mother Nature and hydration. And speaking of, we have the water drop bottle. I got my name on it. Y'all know I'm still traveling. I'm here in the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, doing all the things that I've ever thought of dreaming of doing. And it's been an amazing and absolutely astounding summer with twists and turns. There's a lot of different kind of medicines here that I've never seen before. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with all of you guys at home in future episodes. But tonight is Wednesday night, and every single Wednesday night we bring on a guest for our supernatural story time. And that's it. It's basically a inspiration story that maybe you thought never was possible. And today we have Jannette Ramos, and we're going to be bringing her on very shortly here. But give a shout out if you're here and let me know who is all in the comment section below. I would love to know that you're here participating and doing all the things with us today. All right, we got Dano. Dano's like, let's go. His episode's about to be fire. And he shared. Thank you so much for sharing. Also, what you can expect in this episode, we are going to recalibrate our energy centers. And then at the end of the episode, we're going to be doing the midweek collective energy check-in, which is a reading for the week. But before we jump into anything, to your health, wealth, and prosperity. And if you're really feeling my beautiful cherry blossom bottle, you can get your cherry blossom bottle from Water Drop. And they come in an assortment of flavors to allow you to be inspired to drink more water. So if you're having a problem drinking that water, you need a little bit of flavor, I definitely recommend getting one. I'm the first time with Dano. Hey, fantastic. Thanks for being here, David. All right, so let's bring our guest on this evening. And if it looks like I'm just looking through my phone, guys, because I do not have service here. So we are not doing this on the computer. I'm doing everything manual. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest, Jannette. Thank you for being here.
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's
You're
really great to be here.
I feel like this is long overdue already.
I think so too. I know we connected back for the Power of We, where we shared a couple days together and we got to know each other more, and that was a great encounter. But yes, that was back in April, so it's been a minute. It's
It
great
has.
to be here. Yeah,
I feel like you're my New Jersey mom.
yeah, right. Okay, I'll take that. Yes, I'm here. I'm here. And I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. Also, what a great introduction. I love your starter video. It's amazing. It really depicts who you are. And I think you did a great job with that. So I just
Oh,
wanted to say
thank.
that. You're
That's
welcome.
why she's my New Jersey mom. Jannette, let everybody know at home a little bit about yourself. And yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Jannette Ramos. I am from Camden, New Jersey, and I am a mother of two wonderful sons. One is a police officer, and the second one, many of you know, Dano, who is a television show host of his weekly Dose of Dano TV show. It's a pleasure to be here. A little bit about myself, even further. I worked for the state of New Jersey Child Protective Agency for nearly 21 years. And after 21 years, I decided to walk away, take a break. Um, with child protection, it's a bit deep. It can be rough, and I just decided to take a leap of faith and decided to walk away after so many years. So I know you may have a lot of questions, and that's what I'm here to talk about. But living the dream, I've been hitting nonstop, working nonstop. This new
Whoops. I did not mean to do that. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that, Jannette. I'm so
no,
sorry.
that's
We're doing this.
okay.
We're
That's
doing this the
okay.
manual way.
Yeah, that's got to be even tough to do that manually. But I could talk for hours too. So
Yes,
you
you
let me
can.
zip it
So
up,
we're
and when
gonna.
you give me the cue.
I love you. Yeah, I'm definitely going to cue you for your supernatural story. Don't worry, you're going to be getting all the bits and pieces, the juiciness. And I just want to say shout out to this person right here. I've never seen you come on here, but yes, may Apollo be with us and be with you as well. You guys already know this is my patron deity, so I got to shout that out a little bit extra. Jannette, I'd like to start off every single episode. What we call is what's good. And that's basically the collective message for the week. So we're going to get into that. And then I'm going to ask you for your thoughts right after. So everybody stay tuned. And to that I say, what's good? All right, we got the card of the day for the collective, and it is the page of materials. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't too mad at this card. And Jannette, make sure you pay attention to this meaning. Here it is. This card is all about manifesting. And it says encoded plans. She's been working on new skills and manifesting her future into being. And she allows us to witness her progress mid manifest. This page of materials is thought about what she wants, felt it, and dreamed it up. And now she's ready to bring all of that energy into form and give it shape. She is delighted to share the good news with you that this earth magic is here for all of us to tap into. These new opportunities and beginnings that are sprouting in your life have so much potential to become beautiful roses that mark triumph and success. Tap into the youthful and prosperous energy that's available to you right now. Play, learn, study, explore, and practice. Keep working your way up leaf by leaf, embody and ground the magical creator energy and diligently grow into your ideal state of love. And here is the poem for this card. The poem is, so I manifest to life this norm, and I shape my world with earth, all the materials I need to form reality to birth. Jannette, how are you feeling about this message?
Wow.
And these cards that we pull always match the story that we're going to be talking about. So how do you feel about this card,
I
Page of
I'm
Materials?
I am blown away. Did you pull that out intentionally? I just want you to share with the audience because that depicted everything that I'm actually going through. It just
Mm.
spoke through me. It spoke to me and through me with exactly what it is that I'm doing and manifesting. So I am blown away. It is exactly who I am today and what I am doing. So great job. Great job, universe, in figuring
Great
it
job,
out.
universe.
Yes,
Universe is,
great job, universe. Just that's just confirmation for me
it
to
is.
continue. Yeah.
And I love that it said mid manifest. So it's like sometimes we get stuck, that when we feel stuck, we get stuck in the idea that something hasn't manifested yet. And to that, I want to say, when you're baking a cake, you broken eggs, you have flour on the countertop, the kitchen's just a mess, it's havoc, right? And no, the baking hasn't been completed. But sometimes we're in that middle, we're breaking those eggs and that flour has spilled. We don't realize that we're just still in the middle of it. It's not that we're actually stuck, we're just in the process of the making of the baking.
Yeah, I love how you said that because that's basically enjoying the journey, enjoying the process, enjoying what you're doing. And you're right. We do get stuck thinking that, okay, well, what next? But you gotta you gotta process and enjoy every moment because today you might be working double that and tomorrow you may not be doing as much. But it doesn't mean that progress isn't ensuing. It's not happening. It's just you gotta enjoy the journey. So that's the message. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, enjoy what you're doing because you're focusing on a goal, but don't forget to enjoy that specific process, all the steps that go into it, because we never ever get it done. When we're done that, there's something else. So
Yeah.
it that's
Bake it with love.
yes, make it with love. There you go.
Yeah. And for everybody at home, what do you take away from this message? Is there something in it that resonates for you? Drop it in the comment section below because I definitely want to know. All right. So we're going to be doing one more thing that is very intentional. Everything on Divine Encounters is, even before I set up the stream, everything is very intentional. We create sacred space. I clear my energy. I meditate. And I'm here fully present with my beautiful guests and my audience. So, Jannette, I'm going to ask you and the audience at home, how do you feel right now? Don't answer yet. From 1 to 10, 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can hold, 10, this is the most amount of energy I can hold. Take a moment, breathe into that, and drop that in the comment section below now. Okay, so what are you feeling, my dear heart?
I am feeling, I'm gonna say an 8.5. Can I use halves?
Yeah, you can use halves, quarters, tries,
I'm
whatever
gonna
you want.
say an 8.5. I'm feeling really good. Pretty good.
That that's a great number. For
Yeah.
me, I actually, so I'm still getting over COVID and my body has been it was beaten up last week. And but I feel in my spirit, I feel like a 9. So I'm gonna go with a healthy 9. It's important to know where we are at energetically before this next mindfulness moment because it gives us somewhere to start. We're going to do 1 minute of breathing and it gives us a moment to just check in. Okay. So Dano says, this is the number 7. And Douglas said about the story, without the right journey, there's no victory. I hold to that.
Mhm.
And David says he's at a 9. So everybody's pretty high vibe.
Okay.
Loving that. I'm wondering what Douglas' number is right now, if he's still hanging out with us. All right. So we're going to do this mindfulness moment. And if this is your first time watching, it's basically 1 minute of breathing and intention setting with the card of the day. So we're going to be breathing in the energy of the page of materials. So everyone, including Jannette, eyes closed, spine erect, and let's do 1 minute of recalibration. Okay, your eyes are all closed now. 60 seconds is on the clock. Breathing in manifestation. Bring that, claim that, invite that into your field. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you on the exhale. On the next natural inhale, how to create that abundance. Invite that clarity. Invite those steps. Invite that wisdom. letting go of anything tethered to that, breathing, and then on the next breath, practicing, mastering, planning, and learning how to achieve this, how to be it, how to become it, and let this go on that next breath. A new energy and new beginnings, and feel where that lands in your body, in your spirit. Invite new skills in that you need to have this mastery, letting go of any obstacles in the way there. And one more breath in, a student working on the future and the natural laws of creation, and breathing that in, and just bringing yourself to a moment of gratitude in your heart space, and thank yourself for creating this moment right now, wherever you are at in the world, in present or in the replay. And come back and open your eyes and just jump back into your body and just notice if anything has shifted, if your number has shifted, if you felt anything hot, cold, tingling, pressure, release, emotion, visions, dreams, and drop that in the comment section below. And for Jannette, how are you feeling now? And did you feel anything?
I'm going to say a 9 right now. I just felt a sense of joy and gratitude and satisfaction. So I'm going to say a 9. Yes.
I'm at a 9.6, and what I feel is the vertebrae in my spine actually are all sitting perfectly on top of one another. And I notice that my spine is more erect. I feel longer, and I feel like my chest is more open to receive. Aho. Let's see what we have as people at home. Dano went up to an 8. So good job, Dano. I'm sure you're keeping your meditation journey happening. And David said he released a lot of tension. So we can see that taking this 1 minute a day recalibrates us so well, so quickly, that we can shift and jump in just 1 minute. So that's all it takes. Okay, Jannette, we're going to be jumping into your supernatural story time. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, we're going to come right back from this little quick commercial, and we're going to come back with supernatural story time. Get your popcorn, get the husband, get the wife. We're about to see the impossible become possible. Let's do it.
Imagine a verdant paradise that stands as a convergence of worlds, a living temple of native wilderness, a place where the full potential of inherent human and earth magic can be seen, felt, and understood. A space that attracts the brightest and best of educators on the leading edge. A place of permaculture designed for the benefit of future generations.
And that comment right there from Douglas, I want to highlight it one more time. Yes, 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 and yes. Saw yourself in ancient Troy, my ancestors' homeland. I've been there a lot of times spiritually, so shout out to you. Okay, so we're here all about the supernatural story time, and I've titled this episode "No Home, Just Kitchen." I don't know if you've noticed what the title was based on your story. I thought it was very fitting. So
Yeah,
I want you to start wherever you feel most natural. And we have 20 minutes total. So at 7:40, we got to wrap this up.
Okay.
So wherever you feel this is the most natural, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away, and I'll be popping in from time to time.
Okay. All right. Great. Hi, everyone. Well, my story goes like this. I worked at a child protective agency for nearly 21 years, and after that amount of years, I decided to walk away. Maybe it's been about a month now. So that was a big step on my behalf, but there was something that God had put in my heart, which was to open up a nonprofit organization. So working for the state of New Jersey, we removed kids. I dealt with foster homes. I dealt with parents. I dealt with grandmothers, people that took care of our kids. But what I've noticed while I was working there was that oftentimes we didn't give parents a second chance to raise their kids. And by that meaning, we terminated rights at times based off of drugs. For example, marijuana use, which is in some states legal, was something that was not tolerated, and we terminated rights based off of that. And when you think about that stuff, that's something that was deep. And yes, those were the laws back in the day, but for that child who became an adult today who may not have contact with his or her mother, um, he or she has a story to tell about that. So with that being said, 4 weeks ago, I walked away and I decided to open up a nonprofit organization called It Takes a Village Housing. What it does basically is it provides a safe haven for our mothers who have been affected by drugs and alcohol. So she will go into transitional housing for up to 18 months, and she gets to bring 3 of her kids with her. So not only does she get the housing piece of it, not only does she get the drug treatment piece of it, but she gets the most important piece to this, which is bringing her child and being what she was intended to be, which is a mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that oftentimes the foster care system takes care of our kids, or grandmothers who have raised their own children are being mothers for a second time, which is unfortunate. I'm not saying that all families or all mothers are capable of raising his or her children, but they are. Let's give them those opportunities. Let's give these kids an opportunity to be able to live with that mother and find out, and get to know her. We all know it starts in the foundation, right? The home, the foundation. And once we have that, we can work. Let's work on that first. We've been doing something for so many years that hasn't been working. And what is that called? There's a name for that. That's called insanity, right? Let's change that. Let's be able to do something that we haven't done in so many years and get future statistics. Let's get surveys. Let's get outcomes. We won't know those outcomes until things like this, It Takes a Village Housing, is in place to be able to have those surveys in the future, that outcome, those numbers, those statistics. Right now, the statistics are, we have kids who end up, kids don't stay young forever. So they end up becoming teenagers, and they end up in trouble, and they end up in gangs, and they end up killing, and they end up doing some very negative things. And, there is some studies that show there's a linkage between not having had that foundation in the home versus providing a child, or versus an adult now who did have that mother um, in his or her home that was there to nurture, to guide, to protect. So what I'm saying is there are certain things in life that we definitely need to protect our children from. And yes, drugs are one of them. However, let's find something, let's find a solution instead of going in and yanking every child from his or her mother. Let's find something that's proactive. Let's find a system that you can put in place to monitor and help these families, because again, we should be preserving families and helping families, not
Sure.
removing children. So that's the basis of it.
That's
Um,
that's your what you're passionate about.
that's what I'm
And
passionate about.
I
Yes.
think that's amazing. And I would actually like, if you remember, if we could share a dream that I had about your organization a few months ago. Because then after this said dream, I heard you got some fundings for said organization.
Yes, if I recall correctly, and you can chime in because you have certain verbiage that you will throw in when you told me about the dream. Well, basically, the dream had to do with rebirth and and a new beginning and doing something differently, which you gave me while I was in transition from that particular position on out. So I was on a leave of absence for about 6 to 7 months. But in that time, we connected. And basically, you said I was not going to be going back there, and I was going to be doing something new, a rebirth, meaning not having another child physically, but a baby, something new that would be growing, where I would be putting all of my knowledge, all of my attention, all of my passion into and growing this. And since I took this leave of absence, 9 months ago, I've hit the ground running. There is nothing that I don't do on a daily basis as it relates to this organization. Sunday through Saturday, I'm doing something, whether it's making a phone call, whether it's an email. And yes, we've gotten some funding. I am looking for a particular type of funding because at this particular time, we're looking
You're
for
mid manifest right now.
mid manifest. Okay, so I'm just claiming that campus I want to house
And
these
I
families.
want to I want to say that before I knew what you were creating in the process, I remember in the dream you had your symbolism was sunflower, and then I found out later that your logo was sunflower,
Yes,
and that you were concerned about if you had enough spaces for the people to come into, the families. You needed to house these families in
yes.
the dream, and I do remember that. And I thought that was such a beautiful hat tip to what you're creating in the process. And it just feels like it helped you have a lot of clarity in that moment. So remember
It
the
really
surprise.
did. Yes, it
You're
really
like, did
did.
Daniel tell you what we're doing?
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
exactly. That's right. That was my words. Did Daniel tell you something about this because you wouldn't have known otherwise. And you knew. So I just want to say with that too, that was confirmation and I appreciated those words of wisdom because it just kept me going and it keeps me going because I think about that often too. And you know, in life, you get signs, you get sounds, you get visions, you get people, you get connections, and the universe will send you those folks to come and confirm, especially when you just said, mid manifestation. Okay, well, am I stuck? So those things do come in handy, and you have to be aware of the signs and be open to them.
What other signs you feel like you've received in order or around what you're creating, the thing that you're baking right now? What other
I
signs have
have
you
a
received?
story. I have a
Yeah.
story if you're ready, and this is a true story, and only a few people know about it. And a couple weeks ago, I was at a soup kitchen, is what normally is called. It's called the Cathedral Kitchen here in Camden, New Jersey. And I was there to volunteer my time, and I was serving bags of food to the homeless, drug users, anybody who's in need of was in need of some food. There is this older man in line, and there's a line of people, and he's walking and he's laughing. And when I see somebody laughing that I don't know, I think mental health issues. So that's fine. With every conversation that I had there, it was, God bless you, enjoy the meal, let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Well, this man, as he's approaching me, he's laughing and he looks me in the eye and he says, "Do you know that 419 is yours?" And I was just dumbfounded. I really didn't think about it, but he said it again. "Do you know that 419 is yours? You have to believe." Well, for those of you that don't know, 419 is the address of the campus that I currently want and am asking the universe for. And I do believe I'm going to get. But at that particular time, getting that confirmation from a homeless man was just the world stopped when he said it the second time. I had music, there was a speaker behind us because there was music playing. But the world stopped when this individual said this to me for a second time. I was dumbfounded. I was happy. I just couldn't believe it, but I do believe it. So that may sound that's right. What is that? Double dipping or something like that? No, I believe it. But to hear it from him, from a man I've never met, I don't know who he is. He was homeless. He appeared to have mental health issues, but yet he was able to tell me that I was going to get that campus. And thereafter, Oracle, I am telling you, there is no doubt in my mind that I am going to get that campus that I desire, that I've been asking for, that I put out into the universe many months ago. So for anybody out there that is asking for something, your desire, listen for those signs, look for the signs because they do come to you. You will get clarity, and just like I got clarity. And that's a true story. It's a true story. I'm smiling because it just blew me away. It was an amazing encounter. So talk
You know,
about divine encounter. That was a divine encounter.
They say, I've read that the meek inherits the full. They inherit the fullness of all their life, the meek. And when we look at these great heroes from history, which I'm about to bring up Douglas's comment, a lot of people, they start as humble people, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's unusual that a homeless man that may appear to our regular
Yeah.
conscious mind as
Yes.
someone who has a chemical imbalance might just be more in tune and recognizing things that we're not recognizing in that moment.
Yeah, that's a
For
great point. I'm glad you brought that up because to the average eye, you're right. That's what it looked like. This man had issues. He didn't he seemed off, but he knew what to tell me, when to tell me. I could tell you that much and it just blew me away.
Exactly. So who was he listening to, you know? And when
Mhm.
those moments occur, we have to take ourselves a little bit even further back because that means you were asking for a sign that it
Yes.
would occur. You were
Yes.
praying for a someone to tell you that it would happen. And we have to remember that in our prayer, we can't put it in a box. Never put your prayers in a box, your intentions, your manifestations in a box. And what I mean by that is Jannette could have easily been like, let Oracle have another dream about me and text me about this campus. But your prayer was so broad and general that it allowed anyone that was connected to give you your story or your message to your story.
Yes.
There's a beautiful message here for you from Douglas, and it says, your hero, Jannette Ramos, goddess Hera's one. Like a heroic journey, it's not going to be easy. Reason why it's worth it. So be focused, have strength, faith, and don't give up the helm. Don't give up to help them.
I sure won't. Thank you for that, Douglas. That was beautifully written. Wow, that's wonderful. That's my goal. That's my purpose. I have found my purpose in life after 21 years. Well, I've always had the purpose of saving children and saving lives, but um, I want to preserve families. So yes, passionate, and that's my why. That's my cause. And with every breath that I have, that's my goal is to continue in this journey and bring it forth to fruition. So thank you.
Oh, that's beautifully said. So you're saying you have to be able to receive. I've heard you say that a few times already. To receive the hints, the messages. So what does that look like in your world? How does it look like receiving in your world?
You know, it you when you know it, when you see it, you feel it. Everything starts working out for you. You see things that you would have, maybe you're in line or something and wow, that's a good question as far as specifics because for the most part, anybody that I go talk to is very in tune and very excited and sees the vision that I see. So I cannot say that I've been having difficulty and knock on wood, I won't have any difficulty. It's just knowing that if something might seem off, kind of brush it off because it's not meant to be. So when I put myself in the receiving mode, I know that everything is working out for me and I get to see it, I get to touch it, I get to to focus on it and I am where I am and that's okay. I am, everything is working out for me. So being in the receiving mode means just basically keeping quiet, working to get those signs, and when you get those signs and those impulses and those those visions, doing something about it. So that's what I do. Yes, I receive it, and then if there's something to do, an inspired action, I go out and I make the next move on it.
And that's very important to notice the inspired action aspect because
Inspired
a lot
action,
of
yes.
times we can feel passionate about something, feel inspired, and go, I'll do it later. And that's like
Yes,
leaving the eggs that you're about to use for the cake out overnight. And now you're like, damn, I don't have eggs for this batter. I have
great
to throw
point.
these away.
Yes, great
So,
point.
so use them or lose them.
Use them or lose them, right. So, yes, I'm very in tune, and it's interesting that, you bring up that point about receiving. You gotta keep your eyes and ears open, and sometimes we're blinded or we have, the wool over our eye. We have the signs are there. When you ask for something, you get your answers to that. You just have to be aware. So, it's that, being aware of your surrounding, being aware of those answers. And sometimes it's not even a voice that says go over here. It's something that you get a glimpse of, or something that you see on a book or on a magazine or on TV, or talking to somebody and they say something that you had already been thinking about. So it's different things. It's just keeping your eyes and ears open, or you'll miss it.
Absolutely.
Or
You'll miss
or
it.
you'll miss it.
So, what would you say to someone who says, man, I'm thinking about moving, let's say to Los Angeles. And then the very next person I talk to, it says, oh, I think I'm moving to Los Angeles. And then you're like, wait, I was just thinking about moving to Los Angeles. And
Yes.
they dismiss that as a coincidence. How would you frame it in your world?
Well, I'm going to say right off the bat that there is no such thing as a coincidence. So wipe that out of your mind. There is no such thing as that. Everything, you are where you are because you're meant to be there. So whether you meet up with somebody where you're having that particular conversation about moving to Los Angeles, that wasn't coincidence. You were meant to be there. You were meant to hear that. That goes back to the signs that I was talking about. Understand we all have different journeys. And if that's what's been put in your heart to move to Los Angeles, then so be it. Do it. We all
Mm.
are individual people. I can't live your life. You can't live mine. But if you're open to the signs and you see them or you hear them or however it gets to you, then go for it. If it feels like a heck yeah, then go for it. If it feels like a heck no, then don't go for it. So we know. Right? There you go. If it feels like a yes, I'm doing this, then do it. If it doesn't, then you might want to, ponder on that for a little bit. But you do get the signs. You do. You
at,
really do.
at times people can feel that that voice is not as clear to them as it is for you in this moment, that maybe their fear is creating a uncertainty or cloudiness.
Yes.
Have you been in a position where you've been clouded, and if so, how did you get through it? How did you manage your way through that?
In the beginning, I was clouded because when you're jumping on something through a leap of faith, this was all done on a leap of faith. Walking away from a job for all those years, talk about being fearful and doubtful and where's my money going to come from and how am I going to feed myself and my family and things of that nature. But when you start listening, when you stand still or sit still and you focus, you get clarity. And things like your dream, when you told that to me, things like that homeless man giving me that information, you start to feel better. You know it. You you not only start to believe it, you know it, you feel it. There's something in you that says you know what you're going to get. And I love Abraham Hicks. I'm always going to bring her up. But
She's coming to Philly September 23rd. I just had to say that just in
oh,
case you want
we're
to
gonna
go.
oh darn the 23rd. Man, we're gonna have to go see her. But anyway, Esther Hicks, Abraham. And so if you don't know who she is, please look her up, listen to her videos. She is amazing. But many of her videos say a lot of the same things. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. Let me say that again. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. If you have a strong desire in your heart, go for it. Start asking for answers. You will get the answers. There is nothing that I cannot do, be, or have. So, to your question, Oracle, I know I'm going to get that campus. I know I'm going to preserve lives. I know that this is my purpose because right now I'm a state in my life where I feel comfortable. Not to say that things don't come in and day out. You just learn how to tackle them differently. Whereas I would be worried about how am I going to do something related to the organization? I just say, well, listen, I'll get my answer and you will. Unfortunately, as humans, we like things to be done. Yeah, exactly. At the snap of a finger. And that's not always the case. We have to learn how to do things when they're meant to be done. And I'm not saying sit back, get lazy, but to a certain extent, all I'm saying is ask for the signs, you get them. And when you're ready and you get those impulses, go out and do what you have to do with whatever it is you have in your heart. Whatever you have in your heart's desire, go for it. Go for it. There's no holding back.
Beautifully said.
Yeah,
The cake needs 38 minutes in that oven. Don't pull it out 10 minutes before. You're going to have mushy cake
there you go.
or
That's
burnt
great.
cake.
Yeah, or burnt cake. Yes,
Yeah.
and enjoy the
Just,
journey again in the process.
yes.
And because as humans, we have these emotions that we might be up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. When you're down, acknowledge that you're down and do something to change being down,
Absolutely.
whether it's going to talk to somebody, change your environment, go outside, go get some sun, go listen to some music, change your clothes, put some makeup on, I don't know,
Change
shave
your
your legs,
frequency.
go do something that's temporary, that will deflect you and prevent you from thinking about that problem. Because, oh, I'll say this too, take a nap.
A
Because when you
positive
take a
outcome.
nap, yeah, you're
Hmm.
feeling better when you get up. Take a nap. You're cranky,
Positive
and you need a
action. I
nap.
love
So
it.
take a nap, and you'll feel a lot
Oh,
better. So that
thank
definitely
you for
helps.
sharing. I want you to plug yourself and It Takes a Village. And you'll have 3 minutes for this. So go ahead and plug it and let people know where they can reach you.
Well, you can all reach me at, well, I have a couple places. You can go to my website, which is ittakesavillage1.org. Ittakesavillage1.org, and see what we're about, read about, how we started and things that we need right now. We need a lot of donations, but that's okay. I know somebody out there is listening, and once he or she learns a little bit more about the organization, is going to be reaching out. So I claim that. But no donation is too small, no donation is too big. Remember, it's to house women who have been affected by drugs and alcohol, and providing a safe haven for not only her, but her children as well. You can also find me on Facebook. It Takes a Village Mom. I think, yeah, It Takes a Village Mom. You'll find me there. And those are the two biggest areas. You could always reach out to me via email at it takes a village mom@gmail.com. It takes a village mom@gmail.com for any questions. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, It Takes a Village Housing, Daniel says.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there we go. That's he does everything for me. Thanks, thanks for correcting me, but I would pop. Yes, thank you for correcting me.
And that one is for the Facebook one.
Yes, for the Facebook one, but it takes a village1.org is our website, and it'll give you all of our information, and there's a button there to donate if you wish to.
All right. With that being said, we're going to jump into the question of the day. Make sure you guys hear this question at home and put your comments in the comment section below. So we talked a lot about your journey here. So my question for you today, how, and I'm going to be the queerance, I'm going to just be a stand-in for everybody watching this. So this is not really about me. This is about all of you. I'm you right now. How do I take a leap of faith?
That's a great question. So do I answer that?
Yes, ma'am. And for you guys at home, this is for you too. Drop it in the comment section below. I want to know your thoughts on this.
How do I take a leap of faith? That is a great question, because we all have certain beliefs in life, and a belief is a thought that you just keep thinking, right? That's a belief. We've been conditioned to think certain things, including faith. What is faith? So for me, taking a leap of faith is just knowing that whatever you do, you're doing it with a good intention. You're doing it with a good heart. You're doing it with the purpose of helping others. So when you take a leap of faith, it's the knowing in that everything's going to work out for you. And I'm going to use a word that my friend David Vardaman uses a lot when he's posting things, and that's service above self. So taking a leap of faith has to do with doing something for the betterment of mankind, just doing something that's not about yourself. And that is a big piece in taking a leap of faith. And that may sound strange, but in my heart, taking a leap of faith is basically that, doing something for mankind and knowing that it's going to turn out well. to just doing it, just going out there and going for it.
Like the Greek goddess Nike, just do it.
Let's do it. Just do it.
David says, by knowing in your heart, it is more important than oneself.
See, there we go. He's always saying that service above self. I love it.
Beautiful. All right. So we're going to be jumping in now to the midweek collective energy check-in. And we're going to give the collective a reading. So Jannette, stay tuned. I'll pop you in the back room, have some water, listen to this message because it might just be for you. It's 2 because this is for everyone. But usually, you know, it hits the nose on the head typically. Not to, but you know. All right, so Daniel says about that question of the day, operate from the place of already achieving the outcome versus where you are right now. I love that. And Douglas says, I took after realize the truth in a Buddhist Tibetan proverb. If the problem has a solution, there's no use to worry about it. If it has no solution, to worry about makes no good. I love that. I also believe that as well. If you can't do anything about it in this exact moment, there's no need to worry about it. We can presence it, but there's no need of worrying about it. And I feel like worry is a thought that recycles itself. All right, midweek collective check-in. We actually have 2 new decks that we're using. So we're actually going to read from those 2 decks, the books, because they're new cards. I just got these cards from my retreat at Vibes, and they gifted me the Cosmic Journey Oracle deck. And let's see what we have for today. We have Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. And I love synchronicities. And as I opened this book, it landed on the right page. So here's the message from this card. It says, ahoy! There's magic afoot. This card asks you to make magic by looking at everything anew. From the understanding of the language of signs, symbols, and synchronicities, the question or issue at hand is not simply black or white. You're called now to look with new eyes, hear with new ears, and feel in new ways. A song might not just be a song. There's magic in the right lyric at the right time, talking to you. A piece of artwork that catches your eye at the right moment could be the answer you seek. A tidbit of conversation you overhear could contain the exact message you need at this time. An animal that crosses your path in an unexpected and auspicious way may have a symbol meaning meant exactly for you at this moment. There is an interconnected entanglement in our world that's simply cause and effect, and you cannot make sense of it with your rational brain. So here is a question. What past seeming coincidences can I look back on and make magic with it in a different perspective? And if you would like to do your own divination, the suggestion here is open up your favorite book, if you have one near you right now, and flip to page 25 for the message. Wherever your eyes land is where your message is. And that is called bibliomancy. Our next card here is things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation and taking a trip. Taking a trip, I love this. So we're moving away from all chaos, from things being unsettled, passive waters, and this can be a trip over water or a trip nearby. This can be an internal trip or an external trip. So, but things are looking up, energies are changing, energy is shifting here. And we have death is an illusion. Sometimes we get really bogged down and weighted by the things that are ending, that it doesn't allow us to open ourselves to receive the things that are coming, the things that are sprouting, the things that are beginning. With all endings are just like the cycles of the seasons. With all endings is a new beginning and a new opportunity and a new promise. So don't get bogged down on what has been, recognizing that even the leaves have to fall from the tree in order for new blossoms to arrive. And that is the same with all of our journeys. For those new blossoms to arrive, we must let go of that has overstayed its welcome in our lives. For the crystal, for the midweek, for all of you at home, we have Kambaba Jasper. And this crystal. It's called the Ancient Echoes. Feel free to screenshot it. This is the one way we work with crystals is through image. And it says, Kambaba jasper attunes your biorhythms to the natural cycles of the planet. This crystal also facilitates deep clearing in your karmic body and the ancestral line. When you live in your head rather than in the physical world, your cellular structure becomes unstable and your metabolism is thrown off balance. You may not be assimilating oxygen or nutrients such as minerals and vitamins. Remember that ideas are nutrients too. Disrupt your autonomic nervous system may be a cause for ancient traumas and family dramas. And the message here is getting in touch with the ancestors and understanding the process of creation helps you recognize the value of recycling the past to create a more potent future. Check out what has passed down the ancestral line and utilize homeopathic healing for myasms such as tuberculosis. By changing how you view things, you dramatically improve your well-being. And we have two cards here talking about the resurgence or the recycling of something. So I think that's very prominent here. So yeah, that's the midweek collective energy check-in. What stands out for you? Drop that in the comment section below. I would love to hear about it. And Dano is infatuated with the word entanglement. I'm wondering if that has to do anything with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Maybe. All right. Janet, we remembering that we are closing this feed at the 56 mark, so we have 4 minutes.
Okay.
How do you feel about this reading? Did any of it resonate with you, and what are you taking away?
I think all of it resonated with me. The synchronicity, the little images, and the signs, and the people. It's been the conversation that we've been having this entire time. So, it all of it stuck out. The crystal I wasn't too sure about, but the rest. Quick story: I've seen a couple of praying mantresses this week, and there was a hawk on top of the roof. And when that hawk, we saw that hawk. I looked it up and its meaning, and it talked about expansion and growing. So again, when you talk about the synchronicities, that's the most that stood out because I am listening, I am focusing for the signs and the words and the people and any little thing. So I'm open. My ears are open, my eyes are open, and that's it. Synchronicity for me.
I feel like with the Kambaba Jasper, it's more about ensuring that you stay in a space that your biorhythms are accurate, that you're not giving too much of yourself. And also kind of like a reminder that your ancestors are all working through you with the processes that you're working with.
Yeah.
So you may be getting further than they ever were able to do in your lifetime.
Yeah. I also like the other one about a trip, over the waters or just something, just leaving. And when I think about this whole thing from leaving the trip, the 21 years of that trip and now into the new trip, it just all resonates because it's exactly what I'm doing. So
it is.
You've spoken to me throughout the entire show, and I'm taking it all. I'm taking it all in, and I'm loving it.
Oh, well, I love you, and thank you so much for being on the show today and filling us up with all of this love and excitement. So let's wrap up this episode con mucho amor, and let me figure out what the lesson I learned from you today is.
Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com, and together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor.
Man, wow, what an episode. The thing is about these recognitions of these moments in life is that they build momentum. They're momentum building energies. So every time we give an acknowledgement to something that's a synchronicity or an opening, it is basically an answer to a prayer, and it's a door that has opened for us if we choose to step through it. And you might think, well, all of the things I asked for cannot be given to me in one moment. No, but it's given to you step by step. It's given to you process by process, lest it falls away, lest it becomes too much, lest it becomes too fast. And then we don't know how to steward it properly. This is why we have these learning steps that we have to be able to appreciate and honor as we go through these steps. We become the best steward, the strongest steward, and the most resilient steward for the gifts and the unfoldment of those gifts that are placed in our own lives. And I see that in Jannette, and I see that in my own life as well. And when you're feeling cloudy, to just know that it's just fog on a windshield, that at any given moment you can choose to release that fog by falling into silence, looking back and feeling that trust and faith that you've had this entire time. Because sometimes it just gets obscured. It's never really gone because you're still here and every day is a present. I hope that you go forward and create your own divine experiences. Share those with me. I'm looking for paranormal ones for all the spooky season for October. Or if you've had your own divine experience that's inspirational, motivational, and you want to share with the world, make sure you email me. But above all else, may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels so much, just hold on. Just hold on.